Alrighty, well, I know this video is a little late. I usually do them right when the Homebase status report video right when the Homebase status report comes out, but I was just tired. I needed to sleep. I was out of it. I finished the quest line. I got the new hero. There's a lot to digest, so let's jump right into it. So if you don't know, 3.1 2022, this is probably one of the not biggest updates. I don't want to use that title, but it is a big update. What we've gotten is a almost like not like game changing, but it kind of is. But anyways, attention commanders, we have quite the wild status report for you today, so let's hop right into it. Homebase status report, initiate. Wildlife has torn its way in to save the world and take on the new Brawl of the Wild questline. Now, I've already finished the Wild questline. I finished it literally right when it came out. But yeah, if you don't know, we got wildlife in the game. Pretty cool. So we have a little video right here. Shows them using the meat and taming the raptors, and then opening it up for the raptors and chickens to attack. We got some boars, chicken, frogs, crows, and wolves, which is super cool to see. Having all that is awesome. But good news, the wildlife of the land has begun to adapt to the storm's forces and are now re-emerging into the environment. The flip side of this good news, though, some of the local wildlife aren't very friendly yet. Confronting these beasts is very dangerous, but learning how to work with them may be the key to fighting back against the storm. I love how they use like fighting against the storm with the animals, has like a quest line. I think it's super interesting, super cool. Use bait to make friends with wildlife, or take the more defensive approach, and by that I mean hide in the shadows while they pick their own fights with the husk. Either way, the day is ours. So basically, the next part is going to be telling you how to tame them. I mean, if you've played BR, you already know how to do it, but save the world, create your taming 101. In order to tame an aggressive creature, throw a consumable item like meat, corn, or mushrooms near it. While they are too distracted by the bait to focus on attacking you, go up to and interact with them. This act of kindness shows the wildlife that you are a friend, not food, which will encourage them to follow your lead, which is super cool. I've already tamed a lot of animals, and it's super fun having them as a little like friend. I name them every time I get a little animal. Homebase has got you back in the terms of weapon slot usage. We've added a new consumable slot, which is super cool. I would show a picture, but I mean, like most people already know. If you don't know, we have 4 slots now, but the 4th slot is only used for consumable items like mushrooms, meat, and corn for right now. But they do have plans to update it where we could use it for like coconuts, wafers, and stuff like that, which will be nice. I will love them when they do that. But yeah, anyways, like the new newly added pet consumables, M80s, impulse grenades, porta-forts, etc. So they plan on adding the like anything that you get from the game, like coconuts, stuff like that, to the 4th slot. Currently, I don't think any of it works, but they do plan on it, like they just said. One thing we considered when making these new consumables was not to break existing hero loadouts that specifically focus on using consumables. Things like coconuts, sub wafers, and cannonballs will remain bound to weapon slots to prevent any clashing with pet consumables. So hopefully they do, because right here they do kind of like back up and like, well, they're not going to be in the 4th slot, but hopefully they do make a slot for it, because, you know, having coconuts in one slot taking up one of the 3 slots that you have is very annoying. They've already added a 4th. Hopefully they add a 5th or something, like something that can, you know, actually counteract or help us. Anyways, note, coconuts, cannonballs, subwaves will be able to be slotted in the consumable slot in a future update to further free up weapon space. So they do say it. I am super happy that they actually are saying this. Super cool. I really can't wait until they you know, update this. Tame wildlife will help you for the remainder of this mission, but once you return to your home base, they will return to the wild. Commanders can tame only 1 wildlife at a time, which I am a little sad about. I really wish it was like maybe max 3, maybe 5. So choose your companion wisely. Now, each animal has its different perks and abilities that it basically, you know, helps with. We'll go into it in a second. Now that you know how to tame this, formally introduce you to the new members of our ecosystem. So starting off, wolves, the iconic apex predator. Wolves are very well balanced combatants, as they can take a decent punch and do decent damage as well. Wolves have wide jaws, making their bite capable of damaging multiple enemies at once. This can be very advantageous when fighting against packs of husks. So if you want to do a lot of area damage when it comes to husk, wolves are probably the way you want to go. Wolves are very you know, they do a lot of damage to multiple targets at once. Next up, we have raptors, which is my favorite. An ancient and powerful creature has returned. Raptors raise their sharp claws, give their enemies a nice dose of affliction. Now, yes, a raptor gives affliction. I've never thought that that would be in Save the World. I honestly never thought a raptor would be able to do affliction. That's insane. Affliction causes damage over time, which makes it very useful versus high health enemies such as bosses and mist monsters. So if you're wanting to, you know, slowly kill an enemy by using affliction, raptor's probably the way you want to go. But yeah, moving on, we have boars up next, and boars are actually pretty cool. These stocky creatures do not deal as much damage as a wolf or a raptor, but they can still easily dispose of smaller husks and are strong enough to push around those beefy huskies with their ferocious charge. Thanks to their sturdy build, boars can soak up a lot of damage. They're tanks. They're basically the smashers of the ecosystem. They charge, they stun, they literally are the smashers of like on our side, which is super cool. Also, boars make great allies outside of combat as well. They will go out of their way to dig up hidden loot for their favorite commanders. Now, I've tested this out. I would show a video of it, but I mean, you guys should just go in game and test it out. Boars, the way to tame them is use mushrooms. You have to search mushrooms, get mushrooms, or you can kill chickens. They give you mushrooms too. Now, you tame a boar, right? And it will actually go around digging up ores, coal, nuts and bolts. It literally will give you random loot, and it does it every like few seconds, which is super cool. So like if you ever like were tired and you can't farm while doing a mission, if you soloing it, just tame a boar and they'll farm for you. It's not a lot of stuff, but it's definitely cool that they do it. And I think they're super, super cool. Anyways, moving on, we have chickens up next. Naturally, chickens aren't suited for combat. They aren't, but they can still provide quite the helping hand or wing in this case. Grabbing on a chicken will allow you to glide when jumping or falling from a distance. So having a chicken in your hand, you can pick it up like in BR and basically fly with it. Beast did do a video on it where he was using triple jump and using like the directional pads and jump pads to see how high and far he can go, and it's pretty freaking far. If you see a chicken and you're trying to find an objective, literally put down a directional pad, hop on that thing, and have a chicken in your hand because you're flying across the map. So yeah, chickens mobility, like that's basically what you want to use if you want to be mobile. Moving on, we have crows next. Crows is very interesting. Sadly, crows don't make very good friends. They do not. But crows are actually the smartest bird, if you did not know that. But word has it that hunting these fowls may reward you with valuable loot. So keep your eye out for the crows that glow purple or orange. They will provide high rarity loot. Now, I've had this happen to me already. Purple and gold crows will fly around. You shoot it down, it will drop. It'll have it usually drops. It'll have a good chance of dropping a purple or legendary schematic, like a weapon, anything like in that category. It'll drop something, which is super cool. It also drops extra loot too, like nuts and bolts. I think I've only seen nuts and bolts so far. It could be other stuff, but crows are definitely cool. See a crow, shoot it down. If it's glowing, shoot it down. It gives you those mats and you could recycle it and just use it for your next trap or something. Next up, we have frogs. Like the crows, frogs aren't the kind of creature that will want us to help us out, but at least their meat makes perfect bait. Frogs are useless. The only thing that is really useful is their meat. They're not really you know, anything that you need. I really wish they like you could tame a frog. It'd be pretty cool, but is what it is. But yeah, that's all the animals for right now. Who knows if we can get more or if they will buff them, nerf them. We'll see. The future has a lot to do, a lot for these animals. Moving on, we have the new questline, Brawl of the Wild questline. If you don't know, Gia is a new hero. She's coming out. Well, she is out. She is in the questline. So go get her. The questline's not as hard. I did do it. It's not as hard as it seems. It is actually very easy. It's just it'll take you a little bit. You just gotta like think smarter, not harder. So yeah. But Gia, basically her standard perk is Vital Bond. Tamed Wildlife heals the player for 15% their damage on attack. So basically what it does, for the standard perk, Tamed Wildlife. So once we have a Tamed Wildlife, it heals you, the player, for 15% their damage. So if they do 1,000 damage, it's gonna heal you for, I think 15% is like 150, something like that. I think. So you're going to be healed for that. Now in higher zones, clearly it's going to be more. If it does like 10,000 damage, you're going to be healed for 1,500. So yeah, super good. I think running her in just like a standard perk is decently good. Now her lead is interesting because I found something, and I don't know if a lot of people have tested this out, but I just tested it out a few minutes ago before this recording. Her commander perk, basically Tamed Wildlife, Heals the player for 30% times their damage on attack, so it's double. And then heroes heal their tamed wildlife for 15% of their damage when they deal damage. Now, the crazy thing is, if you're in a 160 zone and you trap out properly, it actually heals your tamed wildlife. So technically, as long as your traps are doing damage, that tamed wildlife is constantly going to be alive and doing damage. So if you have a wolf that does a lot of area damage, like it said a few minutes ago, or like I talked about, and you have traps that are killing husks too, that wolf is going to be alive for the entire mission as long as those traps are doing damage. It is, I don't know if they like meant to do that. I mean, it's still damage, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, there's a lot to test out with Gia. She's definitely a hero to like find ways to use her, but I definitely recommend getting her because she is new and she's definitely has an effect on the new animals, which is pretty cool. But moving on, that is all it for new things. Not a lot new, but definitely cool new stuff. So yeah. But moving on, coming March 6th, we got Battle Hound Jonesy. And then we also have the Watch the Doors in the Shortcut. I mean, I don't know if that's just like a quest line, but Battlehound Jonesy, if you want to grab him, you can. His standard perk is this increases frag grenade maximum charges by 1, and then his commander perk is by 4. So yeah, if you want to grab that, you can on March 6th. Yeah, March 6th. And then we also have Shortcut coming out on March 6th. That'll be coming 5 days, so Friday, I think, or Saturday. And then we also have Stare Down Southie. He'll be coming out March 13th, which is next week. His standard perk is Bear Stare, so Teddy fire lasers from his eyes every 2 seconds, dealing 23 base energy damage. And then for the commander perk, it's 48 base energy damage, which is basically double just about. So yeah. And then we have Cram Session coming out next week too. If you need epic perk up, rare perk up, legendary, or uncommon, or re-perk, we'll be getting Cram Session, so you can do all this and get your stuff. And it'll be going on through April 4th, which is the last day before Ventures. So yeah, do Cram Session when it comes out. A lot of free rewards, and you just have to do some challenges. And then Kevin Pack will be leaving soon, actually. It doesn't mention it, but we do have leaks on what the next pack will be. Let me get a picture of it real quick. I had it earlier. Let me get it. So we have a the next pack leak. We don't know what he'll do, but this is the next pack. I don't know his name, but he will be the next starter pack, which is pretty cool. I actually might just get him because of the way he looks. But yeah, if you want to grab Kevin Pack before he leaves, definitely do that. But yeah, super cool update. A lot of things to test out, a lot of things to do, and just overall a cool update, and definitely a lot of new content, and just overall good update. Good job, Epic. Usually I don't say good job to them unless if they actually impress me, which they've done. We have a lot to test out. But yeah, in the coming videos, just keep updated. I'll make sure you guys know everything that's going on, and if you hit the subscribe button, you'll definitely know whenever I post videos. So yeah, hit it. Also, don't forget to like the video and use code Matty if you do purchase anything Epic related. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for watching. Everyone have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.